certain time.
Really?
Yeah. Facebook will.
Oh, Facebook.
Yeah. So we on this is another episode of Comedians Chopping It Up. We having some technical difficulties right now, as you can see. My man Renard buffering down at the bottom, but we're gonna see if we can get this working. I got Renard Hirsch, I got Lamont King, and I was supposed to have my boy Bodacious join us as well. But Renard, you let us know if you can hear us, and hopefully your connection gets better. Connect to the Wi-Fi, do something. I don't know what's going on with your joint. It might just be me and you, Lamont, chopping it up for the next 30, 40 minutes or whatever.
It's all good. It's all
good. But one thing that hit me today, and I was thinking about it today when I was driving, because believe it or not, I still do quite a bit of driving back and forth, like, with the responsibilities that I have and, taking care of my moms and stuff like that. But do you miss the travel?
Well, to be honest, I didn't travel a lot.
You didn't?
I didn't try. And
well, you were self-contained. You can do all your shows like within the radius of where you was at.
Well, I was throwing.
But you were on the road though with Bruce for a while.
Yeah, I did. So I did that. That's what I was gonna say. That's probably the only traveling that I did, and I do miss that.
Okay.
I do miss that, and then for selfish reasons, traveling with a A-list act is a different ball game.
Right.
It's a different ball game, and not even in so much as how you're treated, but the fact of how that A-list act is treated, and you're there.
Oh, like the green room and the hotel,
just the environment. Yeah.
Right. Because like the car service is like when you go to like the Funny Bones and the Improvs, they got the car service, so they be like, the people at the club will come pick you up at the lobby.
Yeah,
and take you over to the club. You know what I mean? And you like, oh, that's cool. I remember getting to some of those gigs, and they had a car service, and I'd be like, but I had drove a car, I had rented a car for my flight or whatever, and then they'd be like, well, you can get in with the driver. You know what I'm saying? I felt like out of place.
Right.
I'm like, nah, I just meet y'all over at the club. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and let me give you some insight on Bruce. Man, Bruce is old school Southern boy, and 30 years in the game, heavy. So that's I'm painting the picture. So he don't like for you to do all that.
Right.
He driving.
Right.
So from the airport, it ain't no come get me. I'll let you know what time we gonna be there. So every market we went to is the black SUV. We 5 deep because he got a staff.
Right.
So it was, it's different. It's different than the club owner. You at the airport and you waiting, and they like, we sending Manuel over. he's the bar back. You'll see it's a small car. It's a brown Tercel. He's coming to get you. He's coming to get you. Don't worry about it. And if you don't see him, call us back. That type of. So yeah, I missed that part. Just traveling with an A-lister.
Yeah, I did the joint. Bodacious on his way. The joint that always got me rolling is like getting off the airplane, knowing that they got somebody to come in to get you. This person know they picking you up. They work for the club. It might be the host. It might be somebody else. And then they be like, "Hey man, just you can throw that stuff on the front seat in the back." And I go,
"Yeah,
you was driving here like to come get me. Like you couldn't clear out the front seat before. I mean, it'd be like soda cans at the bottom. You like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah.
Then you can't be like the diva dude. So you basically like, y'all, man, I'm chilling, everything good. You know what I mean?
And it's a little white boy who just went through a pack of cigarettes.
Right.
So he told me, the smoke don't bother you, dude. And he still smoke don't bother you, dude. I'd be like, nah, you good. It's your time. You good.
Right. And it's funny, man. It's like even now, like with the whole Uber thing, like, that was always like a thing. I know Bo got stories too, but I'm gonna tell you, like, one of the worst things that happened to me was I had these gigs that was lined up. It was whole summer. It was like summer gigs. It was like a whole stretch in the summer that had got rescheduled because some stuff that happened in the wintertime. Sidebar, the DC airports, man, I hate them. Like every time I connect through DC, if I'm at Reagan, what's the other one?
BWI or
BWI, right? It's that one that has the one that has the X terminal. If you ever got to connect through the X terminal, you gonna miss your flight. I hate that terminal. I hate that terminal.
Terminal. What the heck?
I got to Kansas City one time, and they lost my bags. And here's the crazy thing about this is how I know it was crazy. This is how I know it was some BS. I was at the airport 2 hours before my flight.
Okay.
So I was there 2 hours before my flight. So it wasn't like they didn't have my bag. It wasn't like they didn't have my bag, right? So I get there, they lost my bag. They had one bag, they went to merch, but they didn't have a bag with my clothes.
Right.
As I'm going into the area, the US Airways or whatever, to tell them I lost my bag, I'm like, yo, he's like, how can I help you? I was like, my bag is lost. Lady behind the counter was like, you need to lower your voice. The black lady. I was like, yo, first of all, you shouldn't be working in customer service. Second of all, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to him. She was like, well, I'm the supervisor. I was like, we didn't even get to that part yet.
Yeah.
I was like, how about you let him to see if he can help me first before you get involved. And I don't like your attitude, so I don't want to talk to you right now. You understand what I'm saying? It was just like one of those things, man. It's like I miss travel, but that's the things I don't miss. But what's good with you, man?
Yo, what's up, man?
Nothing much, man. Hey,
what
one of the main questions we had right now was, do you miss the travel?
Nah, I don't really miss the travel. I mean, traveling was the worst part of it altogether for me anyway.
Yeah.
So, I'm a big nigga, man. I don't like getting on planes and driving and shit. Like it's never comfortable at all. So the travel. If I could just morph myself to my gig and then come right back home, I'd be happy as shit.
He said travel was the worst part. Yeah.
The worst part, right?
Yeah, it was the worst part. Yeah. All I wanted to do was just get there and be funny and get my paper, man. That's all I cared about.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, the traveling, like I said, I miss it. Well, I flew. If my gig is 10 hours or more, I always flew. But if it was less than 10, I would drive it. But the drive for me was therapeutic because it was me gathering my thoughts.
Right.
I could figure some things out while I'm driving. There was a lot of reflection, things that I need to take care of, things I need to plan out, and things. And it was out. Nobody could bother me.
Right.
Like I don't get any bother me in the airport or somebody frustrating me while I'm driving. You see what I'm saying? I could just get on the road, put my playlist on, and I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? But it was relaxing.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Well, like I said, when you used to it,
I got a lot of birthdays on these knees, man. I don't want to be in the car. I don't want to be in the car for no more than 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm about to say 10 or less. 10 is your cutoff?
Yeah, 10 is my cutoff.
You just like
because like even if it's 8 hours, right? I treat it like a work day.
Okay.
Like, it's 8 hours. Like it's like 8 hours of driving. Like, I'll do 4, stop, gas, eat something to eat.
That's a work day for truck drivers, but you ain't that.
Well, to me, to hit the road though is nothing though. It's like it's just what it is. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, gas it up and let's roll. You know what I mean? So I mean, I enjoyed it because it was just, I come up with some funny bitch driving.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I tell you a quick little my last wild travel situation was Florida. I think it was the Hard Rock. They were closing. It was with Bruce. And so do you remember Fort Lauderdale, the shooting at the airport?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like 2018, maybe 2017. So we land, and as we're landing, we see the ambulances and the fire trucks go past the window, like racing the plane. You know what I'm saying? So we get to we don't even get to the gate. We just sit on the tarmac, and 10 minutes, 20 minutes, hour, 2 hour. Everybody started trying to get their phones or whatever, CNN and people tweeting. I forget what airline I was on. I think it was Southwest, tweeting them, and Southwest is responding in real time. So it started filtering through the plane that it was a terrorist situation in the in the airport. So long story short, you know, I when they used to send for me, I flew in same day. So show number 1 of 3 shows on a Friday, 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
So we on the tarmac 6 hours. 6 hours. And then so this is some cold shit. You talking about thinking of bits. So we get the police come on with the tactical, whatever they come, they bring the stairs to the plane, they let us off the plane. We walk the tarmac, walk to the terminal, go in, and it was like a movie scene. They had gotten thousands of people out of there, and everybody had to leave their stuff. So it looked like one of them, it looked like I Am Legend.
Right.
Just left their shit where it was. Phones, meals, bags in the whole airport. We had to walk through with our hands up or whatever. They had the people with the shit. So then we walked like 2 miles, literally 2 miles from the airport to the station where shuttle buses came and got you. So I'm on, you know, trying to be on the phone with the club, and the club finally, this is where I get to where I was talking about the bar back, because they sent like their head waitress and the bar back to come get me. I get there, the host is on stage introducing me.
Wow.
This is from landing at 11 a.m. I get there at 7:30. Bruce was like, you don't have to go on if you don't want to. And I was like, nah, man, my heart racing, all this shit. I go on and I get on stage, right? And they all ready because the host was good and they just ready for a night and they eating their chicken wings and shit. I was like, nigga. I was like, y'all see this terrorist shit at the airport? They like, yeah, they thinking I got jokes from watching the shit on CNN. I was like, I just got off the goddamn plane. And so they, you know, they laugh a couple, and then I start going into it a little bit more. And I swear I'm only there 20 minutes, 25.
Right.
First 15 was everything that just happened. And it took them a minute. And then once they realized that I was for real, I was dead ass.
Right.
I mean, it was about 500 people in the room, man. They was all the way in. They was in.
Right.
Niggas
That's
was
a
me
gift
at
from
the
the
end
comedy
and
gods.
hearing.
Man.
Say it again.
That's a gift from the comedy gods.
Oh, yo, what? Without question. Like they was rooting for my soul because they seen that I was, you know, I was uneasy. I was like, no, that shit was for real. And I'm really just telling the story before I even got into my set. But yeah, to your point, man, sometimes just being
You on the plane waiting on Mike Lowry.
Right.
I wait for the door to kick in. Everybody get down on the floor. I was waiting for all that shit. I was like, this shit is real.
I took a flight the first time I ever flew Allegiant Airlines. $50 flight. My show was in Miami. $50 flight. The airport was in Concord, North Carolina, which was like right near, like it was this little tiny airport with this basically where you keep the plane, like a hangar. We was just pulling up to a hangar. So I go in there. I'm like, is this a real airport? You know what I mean? I give them the ticket. They're like, we got to pay to print it off. I'm like, are you serious? They're like, you can download the app on your phone. I'm like, come on, yo. You want all this technology and we standing in a hangar? Like, really, dude? You can't print me a ticket? They're like, it's going to cost.
You was flying from Concord?
From Concord to Florida, right?
Concord is in Charlotte. They don't have,
basically.
They don't have a relationship. They don't.
So wait a minute. So I get on the plane. This is how I knew this joint was gonna be crazy. You know the little ramp that you walk up, like the stairs you walk up to get on the plane?
Yeah.
There were 6 people pushing that joint to the plane. I was like, this is gonna be bad. I'm videotaping like this is bad, right? So we get on the plane, everybody sit down, we take off. We take off, and as we take it off, I'm looking at the people push the ramp back. Push the ramp back away from the runway or whatever. And we take off, the light goes off that they tell us we can, you know, start using our electronic devices. Soon as they say we can use our electronic devices, the plane takes a turn, starts descending. He goes, we are descending. I was like, what the hell, right? So he says, we are descending. Plane coming down. I see the mall where we just took off from.
Yeah, right.
I see all the fire trucks lined up on the runway. I'm like, we just took off. You know what I'm saying? Playing lanes, dude gets on the plane with this aluminum foil suit, everything, right? I'm like, what the hell's going on? They said they saw smoke coming off the plane.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get off the plane. They're like, we're gonna see if we can fix it. Fix it.
yeah, it's not going. Not getting back on that. Yeah.
I was saying, it was like, we can either get another plane. I said, where y'all gonna get another plane? Y'all gonna go to
Another plane.
So I called a gig. I called the booker and was like, look, I ain't gonna make it to Miami tonight. He's like, can you come tomorrow? I'm like, dude, it ain't even really worth it. You know what I mean? Like, I done missed the gig. I'm only got one show. It's like I'm gonna fly way down there for one show. So he was like, you want me to just cancel? And I'm like, man, let me find out what these airport people say. The mothers like, y'all can leave. We emailing you, let you know when the flight gonna take off.
Damn, who's doing that?
Yeah. So needless to say, I didn't fly Allegiant ever again.
And what is Allegiant? That's one of them airport airlines. Is you like, yeah, they used to be something else.
I don't know, man, but I mean, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, like I said, you can go to Florida or New Orleans for $50.
Yeah, we got Allegiant here. For the most part, they fly out of Baltimore.
I ain't never heard of.
They fly to Norfolk. They fly to Norfolk here from here too, and it's usually just they go to Florida.
Yeah, it's usually Florida. Yeah,
but you can catch a Florida joint for cheap. I ain't never fuck with them, but they go to Florida.
Wait a minute, you said they fly to Norfolk from where you at?
No, they fly from Norfolk.
Oh, I'm about to say, ain't you at Norfolk? I was like, God damn, what kind of routes do they have?
Trips is to Florida though.
Shit.
Right, and I think you can only come back on Tuesdays or something like that.
Yeah.
You can only come back on. You can't come back on Monday. You gotta come back on Tuesday.
Yep.
Maybe they used to be Bobcat Airlines. Was they
you can
Bob Johnson
spend the extra money for the cost of a decent flight on a hotel for Monday.
Right. You're gonna end up getting hit somewhere, you know what I mean? But
always,
like I said, if you was trying to go to Disney World on the cheap and you ain't want to spend that $200, you can actually get your family down there for instead of paying $500 or $800, you can get down there for $200. You're good to go.
Now here's the real question: Who among you is getting on a plane right now? I can't do it.
I mean, now, Bo, you had shows, so you were actually on a plane during this pandemic, right?
Yeah, I did it, man. I flew to Dallas. That's the crazy thing, right? Because we went to Dallas and Nashville back in June, and they were the hot spots.
Right.
I went on a Corona hotspot tour.
What? So did you have the shield thing when you went on?
Motherfuckers was that? Me, I'm already scared anyway of flying. I don't like to fly.
I don't like to fly either.
But I wore a mask and I bought a face shield. You know what I mean? Like I did all that. And, I felt relatively safe, man. I'm not gonna front. Like I felt decent, but something just told me, I was just like, man, this ain't a good time to be doing this. And
now, did you have the road to yourself?
Out of 6 trips, like connecting and shit for both weeks, I think maybe I was sitting beside somebody twice, but there was a chair over, so it was a seat in between us, which I felt okay about that because motherfuckers had their mask on and all that, so I was like I said, I felt relatively safe, man. I feel like long as you don't, before I sat down, I took my wipes, I wiped everything down, the buckles, the seat, the tray, anything that I might touch. And, I put my mask on and the shield. So basically, the virus couldn't get into any orifice. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to have somewhere to enter.
Right.
So I was okay with that. But, we got to Dallas Thursday. And at that point, Texas was 50%. They was in phase 2, I believe. And,
right.
Thursday night, all the tables were spaced out. I was like, oh, I can do this. I was like, this is decent. Well, nobody told me Friday they was going to 75%. So I come in there Friday, nigga, that shit was 95%. I mean, there was chairs all along the wall. I was like, dog.
Cats don't know how to do math down there.
Yeah, they know how to do math and money math.
I got on, and people in Texas, man. Look, we're in Dallas. I can't speak for the state of Texas, but man, they was not wearing masks. You know what I mean? Like, and that was my first time being on stage in 13 whole weeks. Like, I've never been off stage no more than 2 or 3 weeks in 25 years.
Wow.
So the first week that I'm on stage, I'm thinking it's gonna be, orgasmic. Like, I'm on stage, I'm like, this is beautiful. But I'm seeing all these faces with no masks, like I'm seeing laughing faces, and I'm happy about that. But I ain't supposed to see y'all fucking faces because y'all should have masks on. So the shit was surreal, man. Like I didn't enjoy it. Like the shit wasn't the same. Like I was scared to sit in the green room with niggas because they didn't wear no masks.
Yeah,
like I'm the only motherfucker walking around with a mask on, and the shit just felt strange to me. Because I'm just like, why am I the only motherfucker taking this serious? You know what I mean? So
I agree with that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I take it. See, look, man, I'm over 40. I'm damn near 50. Well, I'm in the middle. I'm closer to 50 than I am to 40, and I ain't the symbol of health. You know what I mean? Like I'm a chunky nigga, and so I'm an automatic, almost pre-existing condition. Even if I ain't got one, like the shit there waiting.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I take this shit serious.
Right.
Look, I'm like, y'all niggas drink, smoke. Y'all got pre-existing conditions, and y'all just in here in the green room talking in a closed space like it's
small
all good.
space, droplets everywhere. I couldn't
do it.
Yeah.
And I missed them dudes. You know what I mean? Like 13 weeks. Even the niggas I didn't miss and I don't really care for, I still miss them because I seen them every week.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was like, when I get off stage, I'm out. Like I'll come back like 5 minutes before the show ends and set my shit up so I can sell. But other than that, I can't hang out.
Yeah.
So fast forward to the next week in Nashville. Like when we went to Nashville, I just had an eerie feeling. Like I was like, this ain't good. You know what I mean? Like I walked in, I just had that feeling, man. Like, usually if you got a gut feeling, it doesn't mean you fat. But this gut feeling, I was like, yo, something just ain't right. So,
now do you think, I mean, in your opinion, do you think what happened in Nashville was because of what happened in Dallas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Because while we was in Dallas, I noticed one nigga coughing. You know what I mean? And it wasn't DL. But he was getting off stage. People was running up to him and taking pictures and shit. And I was like, that's not good. We ain't living in that time, So in Nashville, I noticed the same nigga coughing. And, in Nashville, I kind of wisened up a little more, which it might have been too late because I still caught the shit. But, I'm walking up on stage and I'm taking spray because, the nigga that was coughing, he was bringing me up. So I'm walking onto the stage spraying, nigga, like, and the crowd was laughing, like, and I'm just like, I'm glad they laughed and ain't looking at me like I was trying to be bougie or something. But I'm just like, yo, I take this shit serious. So I'm wiping the mic off and all that, but it might have been too late because I probably caught the shit in Dallas because I won't doing all that.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. You had it?
Yeah, I caught that shit.
Oh, I ain't.
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't know that.
Noticed, like before I went to Nashville, I had just a little bit, and that's it.
I think that might be Renard. Hold on.
Yeah, you gotta mute that.
I did. Hold on. All right, I just muted it.
Yeah, I went to before we went to Nashville, I had a little bit of congestion. Like it wasn't even nothing at all to me because I sleep under the fan and the AC. So and I got bad sinuses, so that's normal for me. I had a little bit of a issue. You know what I mean? That was it.
Yeah.
So I think I might have caught the shit in Dallas, and I didn't know. But when I got back from Nashville, like a couple days later, I get out the shower. I'm like, damn, I can't smell shit. Like I couldn't smell my face wash, and the shit. The face wash I use got a pungent smell to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that Bath and Body Works shit. That shit is floral.
Oh, it ain't Bath and Body Works. But I said, damn, I can smell. Like, so that right there, first of all, when I came home, I quarantined anyway because I bought a nigga on and had COVID. So I already acted like I had the shit when I came home and I just stayed away. I stayed downstairs locked away and all that. But you know, a couple days later, when I lost my smell, I was like, it ain't no sense me getting tested because losing your smell is not some shit characteristic of anything else. You know what I mean?
Anything.
Like that's a telltale sign that you got it. Like smell and taste. If you lose that, you pretty much like that's the sign.
So you didn't have a harsh
I went on to
version.
bed my 14 days, man. Huh?
You didn't have a harsh version, like you wasn't all out
I didn't.
sick.
I was spared the worst of it. I was spared. I
Ah.
didn't get like, smell. My taste wasn't all the way gone, but shit didn't taste good. Like you know, shit was bland, but I couldn't smell shit, and you know, I didn't have no cough. I didn't had a stomach ache, the back ache. I didn't have a headache, shortness of breath. I ain't had none of that shit. But
Wow.
the smell shit did me. So I just went on and did that 14 days, man.
So did it come back?
Huh?
Did your smell and taste come back?
My smell started coming back like a week and a half, 2 weeks later. You know what I mean? Like I went almost 2 weeks without smelling shit, dog. Like that's some weird shit.
It is.
You know, like just think like you can't smell. Like nigga, I'm taking a shit and I stink. Nigga, I can't even smell my own shit. You know, my girl cooking brownies and shit. You know what I mean? I can't even smell it. Like it was. I'm spraying Lysol in the crib and I can't even smell that shit. Like it was
right.
weird shit, man. But and I was talking to Rodney Perry today, and you know we was discussing. You know, I was talking to Rodney, and I was just like, man, psychologically, it fucked with me more than anything, because you know I'm a news junkie, man. You know, I watch CNN and all that shit, and they scared the shit out you. Like that's their job.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing the stories of people, survival stories, and you know symptoms lasting 6 months later, and motherfuckers' toes itching and shit 3 years later after they done caught this shit. I mean, you know, you sit around thinking about that, isolated, that shit fuck with you, dog. So
right,
you know that alone in itself was worse than the symptoms for me. Like I didn't really get the worst of it. But
did everybody from Dallas get it? Did everybody that was in the green room get it?
That nigga gave it to everybody. But
one nigga.
I don't think he was the one that started it. I think the other nigga that was coughing, the one that
that's what I'm talking about.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
But DL said he took it and gave it to everybody at the radio show and the TV show and family and everything. You know, but I'm in the house, you know, with one other person, and you know, I didn't pass it along. You know, if she did get it, she didn't have no symptoms, and I don't think she had it. But yeah, I'm just like that shit made it real for me. Like you know, off of shows and gigs and shit, man. I'm not ready, man. Like I don't know how long the antibodies last. Like I don't know if I fuck around and get it again, it's gonna be worse. You know, I got to worry about, you know, if you by yourself and you ain't got nobody to pass it to, then you know, take the chance. If that's, you know, it's on you. But if you know, this shit like racism, man. Like you know, you got to have a level of compassion because you know it's other people involved. You know what I mean? Like you got to worry about what you're gonna do to the next person, because the next person you fuck around, you kill them behind this shit.
Right.
So I ain't ready.
Shit, I'm glad you made it.
Ago, and I was like, I ain't going.
I'm glad you made it.
I'm not ready to
go. I turned down like 2 gigs. One was in Chicago, one was in Tennessee. And I was like, I just can't do it, man. I can't. I didn't feel the 2 shows. Go ahead.
Like we got the Houston Improv at the end of this month. I'm not going. Nigga, Houston is ground zero. I'm not going there.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite improv. I can go there and sell $3-4 grand worth of product and rock 6 shows, standing ovation. I don't give a fuck. It's not worth it, man. Jokes and laughs and money is not worth. It's just this is life we talking about, man.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to be responsible for motherfuckers gathering to see me and they end up taking some shit home because of that and go kill somebody or end up dying themselves. I don't want no parts of the shit.
Nah, no parts of that. That's real.
Good. If I got to drive for Amazon, like I mean, shit, that life as we know it is over. Like unless they get a vaccine, I'm not gonna take it. But if they get a vaccine and eradicate this shit, then maybe we can go back to normal. But
Well, here's the question. That's a question. That's the next question. Then, how about that? So you just said if they have a vaccine, you wouldn't take it.
nah,
And I feel like, well, that's the thing. So if you don't, then would you go back to living your life normally once everybody else started taking the vaccine? Would
I
you just?
don't think it ain't no more normal, man.
nah, it ain't.
Even with the vaccine, ain't gonna be no more
It
normal.
ain't.
Like it's
It ain't gonna do nothing but get progressively worse.
yeah. Well, they already saying the joint done mutated and COVID-21 is on deck
Yeah.
and moving. So it's really no, man. This, like you said, this the end of things as we know it. Life that we knew in January, that shit is just no more.
Yep.
And you got to find a way to mentally, physically deal with that shit.
I told you that, Justin. Like when I was on that plane coming home, when this shit hit the fan, when I was on the plane, I was like, "This is probably the last gig." Like I remember when I was in San Antonio, I was like, "This is the last gig." Who knows?
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel bad. I feel bad like more for my kids than I do for me. You know, like kids playing sports.
You done lived a little.
Yeah,
I lived a lot. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if I was checking out here tomorrow, I'd be like, I did good. You know what I mean? Like you know, it's just, you know, I feel bad for them. I mean, they would have to adjust. I mean, their adjustment period starts now. And when I look at like the people that's out living life, or the ones that's out here not really caring about what's important, is the young people. Like, those are the ones that ain't following instructions. Those are the ones just living their life like, I don't care. And I think back, if I was 20, 22 years old,
I wouldn't care either.
I would not give a damn. I'll be at the next party.
Especially if they
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think I would still give a fuck. I mean, like a lot of these is gung ho.
I do now.
Well, of course, because we older. But me seeing people like, you know, having them people, one person removed that drop dead. That's all I really need to see. And I've had about 5 or 6 of those. So it no matter at what age, it has still had some. I'd be like, I want to, but I would still be, you know, some kind of nervous out here, man.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. When I was in Nashville and I brought this nigga DL out to the stage, and I walked through the green room with my mask on, took my mask off, went out in the audience in a section wasn't nobody at. And I just heard this nigga like mumbling some gibberish, and I was like, "What the fuck is wrong? Like, this don't sound like that nigga." Like DL, anybody knows he's very articulate, man, and well spoken. I'm just like, something ain't right with this nigga. And then to see him collapse, come on, dog. Like, you can feel whatever way you want about DL, and a lot of people do. A lot of people love him. A lot of people don't. That's a man right there. You know what I mean? Like, a self-made man, a strong nigga that I adore, you know, that changed the trajectory of my career. So I ain't got nothing but admiration for him. He's a fucking man. And to see him vulnerable like that shit did something to me, dog. So, moving forward, all of my decisions as far as going out, that's going to be played in my head at some point.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see that no more. That fucked me up.
Yeah.
And when he collapsed, the first thing I said, that nigga got it. You know what I mean? Like,
oh wow,
that's the first thing that came to my mind, because I'm already walking around, you know, not enjoying myself, and I'm paranoid as fuck because, you know, I'm around people, and you know, people sit in the green room. I'm just like, I'm already on edge because I don't feel like people taking this shit serious, and I done lost some people, and you know, some dudes that I consider strong have already been stretched out flat for 10 days and couldn't do shit, you know, and said it was the worst thing they ever had ever in life. You know, niggas, I feel like it's just as strong or stronger than me to hear them grown men talk like that. Of course, I take it serious.
Right.
So when I see this man that I adore just pass the fuck out, on stage,
in public,
in public, and to see him hauled off in an ambulance and shit, people trying to take pictures of him, and dog, the whole thing was fucked up for me. I remember going back to the condo and shit after that, and I had to stay an extra day because that was Friday, and we had to work Saturday and Sunday. So they ended up canceling the whole weekend because I didn't volunteer the headline. I was like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, I was like, I don't want to stay in this fucking town no longer because it's Nashville. The cases were already exploding there. So I was like, I need to get on the plane and get the fuck out of here. So I ended up buying another one way, on top of not because there were no more flights till Monday. And this was Friday. So I had to stay Saturday and then fly Sunday. So I still had 24 hours to think about all of that shit before I went. I just remember coming home. I was like, I ain't going back out. It's going to be a minute. And it's been 9 weeks already.
Since that?
Yep.
Damn.
I know, right?
Time is just, I mean, it ain't slowing down.
No, wait a minute. It's been 9 weeks. That was Father's Day. So, 2 more weeks in June, 4 in July. Yeah,
9.
yeah. Carry the one, bro. It's about 9 weeks. Yeah.
9 fucking weeks, man.
Yeah. So I mean, it's tough. I wish I could bring you on, man. But your mic is.
Yeah. What you using, Hirsch?
I don't know, man.
I don't know what you doing, man.
I can't hear that. Every time I turn your mic on, that joint is like a loud screech. So I don't know if you need to turn something down or he hear us, but we can't hear him.
Jump out, jump back in or something.
I don't know.
You know what though? And I know, Justin, you got a decent following, and I just feel like, God using me as a vessel because I am a cautionary tale. Because, I was vigilant as fuck from the beginning. Like I was already a germaphobe. I was already, popping shit to keep my immune system straight. Like I can count on maybe one hand, maybe a hand and a half, how many colds I've had in my life.
Yeah.
I've been very fortunate. I've had the flu one time, and that was like 3-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And, it took me 2 days to get over that. Like I didn't have no stay in the bed type shit, couldn't move. Like, I shook it in 2-3 days at the most. So, my immune system, by the grace of God, has been amazing. And, the one thing these news outlets and shit ain't sharing with us, is because it ain't no cure for this shit, first of all. There's no fucking cure. So if you get it, you just stuck. And you just better hope that you can shake it in 2 weeks because it's going to hang around. Like, it took me literally 2 weeks to get rid of the shit. And, as far as the congestion, that shit hung around for longer than that. And people battle symptoms, from what I understand, for, weeks and months and shit afterwards, dog. That's unfathomable.
Right.
So the one thing they don't tell you is how to build your immune system, man. And one thing I do, I take my multivitamin every day, like a liquid form, so that shit go right in my system.
Mm-hmm.
I drink soursop tea and super lysine and zinc, elderberries, black seed oil, plenty of that shit. It's disgusting. It tastes like castor oil.
Yeah.
Right.
That shit removes mucus from your body. Black seed oil and sea moss. Like that's the new hustle now. That shit like body magic. Like
it is. Yeah.
Body magic.
Like that shit is like the new pyramid scheme or some shit.
Right.
Sea moss take mucus out of your body, and that's one thing you don't want if you fuck around and catch that Rona nigga, because that shit is respiratory. So you don't want no mucus in your body. You fuck around getting pneumonia, it could be lights out for you. So this is all the shit I take, man, on a daily basis. And I was able to have minimum symptoms, except for that loss of smell shit. Like that's some weird shit.
Yeah.
But other than that, my symptoms were pretty much non-existent, man. It was just all in my head because I was, when you got some shit, man, you super sensitive to every fucking thing. So anything that happened, I was like, oh, nigga, like every morning I wake up, I'll be like, I'll lay there for a minute and hope I ain't got another symptom. You know what I mean? They say the shit change on a daily. Like, I've heard hundreds of stories. People be like, the first day I had a headache. The next day I couldn't stop shitting. Like it's like every day is something different.
Right.
So psychologically, man, the shit wears on you. So anybody out there that's watching this, build your immune system. But that's one thing they ain't gonna tell you how to do. Ain't no money in that for them.
Nah, at all. No money in the field. Yeah.
Not
It's
at all.
called alternative medicine because they don't make no money off the shit.
Right.
So get
Right.
all that cheap shit, all that shit from the earth that God given us to build our immune systems up so we can fight shit like this that they creating or whatever the fuck how it's coming. You know, spend it is easy to go on Amazon and buy a few things for $15 and use them on a daily basis than to be up in the fucking emergency room on a respirator later or whatever the hell.
Tell that part.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't, the way I look at it, the way we look at this new normal now and things like that, like I don't see how it's going to come out of it. Like the things that we look at, like sports, just in general, sports, it ain't going to happen. Like
I got faith in basketball though, man. Like they balling. And
yeah, they are.
That bubble shit works.
Couple niggas
going to catch it.
But here's the thing. So the whole bubble thing. Yeah, but here's the whole thing. The whole thing about the bubble is there's no way you can do that with other sports.
No.
It's no way you can do that with football.
Hockey maybe, but not football. Football, but you know what though? I don't even give a fuck because I've been waiting my whole life for the Chiefs to win a Super Bowl. So if football don't happen, nigga, we'll just be the champions forever.
All right, well, you can take that title. We'll take the NFC champions forever because we the last NFC team to win a Super Bowl. So we gotta take that.
Hey, it's a wrap for football, man. Like,
I don't see how that's going to even work. I'll tell you what was funny is the fact that Lamont, you did call it. You did say that Washington was going to change their name to the Washington Football Team. You called that, John, like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. But the thing about that is around here locally, that's what people who have been, silently protesting, that's what they've been calling it for years. Like,
yeah,
they like, so when I was with Radio One, the owner of Radio One, Kathy Hughes, in like 2000, sent out a memo and prohibiting people from saying the Redskins. So she couldn't say it on her airwaves.
Right.
Like we had to sign a thing. And if you said, so we have been, the reason why I said that on my show the other day is because I've been used to saying the Washington Football Team for like 20 years.
Yeah.
In place of saying Redskins just out of habit.
Yeah.
So when they did that, I was like, well, that's easy. That's logical. I mean, it just makes sense. Because they're like certain news stations was doing the same thing here. So they've heard it before. It wasn't original.
Yeah.
I just say keep it. Like, and I was saying club because it sounds cooler.
Well, that's like soccer though.
Yeah, but still, the rugby, all that, it still sounds cooler. You know what I mean? The Washington Football Club. You know what I mean? Like they show up, no logo on the helmet. It's just a bunch of niggas ready.
The Browns did it first.
Yeah.
The Browns. Like when I was little, I never understood that. Like, why are they the Browns and the helmet is orange? Like, I didn't get it. Like, I thought it was like I didn't understand what that was. Then I was like, oh, they named it after the owner. I'm like, okay, like it still didn't make sense.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I was today years old. I was today.
Yeah, like was it Paul Brown?
The Browns that don't leave in Cleveland.
Right, but as a kid, I was inquisitive, so I always want to know why. Like I'm like, why are they the Browns? Why are they this? Why are they?
I mean, me too. I didn't know that till just now.
Yeah, I mean,
as bad as an organization they are, I remember when they, well, I guess it was 90, whatever it was, when they was, moved to Baltimore, and they won them. And I remember, like in 95 when they came back or whatever. I remember seeing my homeboy with a hoodie on with like a dog up there, like the Cleveland Brown dog, and Cleveland Browns established 19, whatever. I was like, they got a dope mascot. You know what I mean? Like I was like the color scheme and all that. I was like the uniform. I was like, they kind of dope. After not seeing them for all them years. But they fan base, man. They got the best fan base in all of football. Like it's crazy.
Dude, they are
the Browns, man.
They are rabid. Yes. Yeah. And they not putting out no good product, and people stay still there faithfully every week.
Well, I mean, you ain't got much. You ain't got much else in Cleveland, though. It's one of those markets.
Well, I mean, when I was there, like when I was like traveling and stuff and going up to Cleveland to do the Improv, and LeBron was there, like they had the Cleveland Indians, they were good at the same time. Right. The Browns were the only thing that was sucking at the time.
Oh yeah, you talking about that 1 year?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I remember that 1 year when it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that because I remember.
Yo,
I remember when. Go ahead.
I did that. I don't know if you ever did that the Comedy Zone gig in Cleveland.
Which one? You talking about the one by the Roxino?
Yeah.
The Hard Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that one.
I did that the year that the Browns, the year that the Cavs won the championship. I was there that weekend, and it's a Friday and Saturday gig, and they won the shit on Sunday. So I remember getting home, like I drove the whole day from Cleveland. That's back when I was driving, and I drove the whole way home from Cleveland, and I caught the game. And I was like, man, I should have stayed because man, it was so much love in that town when they won. I was so happy, man, to see them win the championship, man. It was like watching my own team, man. The shit was crazy. I was that damn happy for them because it's a sad ass town, man. Like, like it's always dreary.
Oh yeah,
right. I remember, and then this casino was the only thing that's open, so they just throwing any money away.
Yep.
And I remember
had this conversation with Guy Torrey the other day. We was naming our favorite club. Yo, the Cleveland Improv. I've never had a bad show there. Ever.
Me neither.
Oh yeah.
Me neither, man. It's a great.
Come out there, man, and they laugh. They show much love. Like Cleveland.
But you know what? I hear a lot of comics struggle there though.
Yo, I was about to say that. Like, guy said the same shit. He said, man, I'm shocked to hear other comedians say they hate Cleveland. And I was like, me too. Because I heard a couple guys say, man, I don't like the Cleveland Improv. They're like, you got to suck, man. Or either that or
here it is.
Those people are so blue collar there.
Here it is, bro.
They work hard. If they don't connect with you, they don't fuck with you.
We had this same conversation. This is what me and LeVar had this conversation on my podcast. And then Rodney came back and had the conversation with me on his Instagram. And we were talking about mainstream versus urban rooms, right? And I wouldn't consider improv an urban room. To me, I consider the mainstream that has a majority Black audience in it, but it's not urban, right? But I explain, if you don't have the chops, they can get to you because the energy is, you ain't funny. We just ain't laughing. It's not that they gonna boo you. They just ain't gonna laugh.
Right. They don't connect with you. They just don't.
Right. And they ain't rocking with you. They gonna go on by their business.
And it might be a mainstream room, but let's just say it's a couple niggas in that audience that'll kill you.
Oh yeah, they real. But here's the thing. One thing I say about the Cleveland Improv is, if they like you, they show you love immediately when they walk out that door.
Yeah,
I mean, if you stand in that lobby, I mean, they converge on you.
Swarm the table, yeah.
And they like, yo, come, let me get you a drink. Let me buy you a drink. They right there by that bar, and they all want to party with you right there, right at the end of the show.
There's a lot of killers in Cleveland.
It's
the weirdest town because they show a lot of love, but it's a lot of killers, man. Like the times I've done the Cleveland Improv, I can just see them walking out. I'm like, look, man, I was raised around killers, so I know them when I see them, and there's a lot of them. Like them killers come to laugh though.
Yeah, they're laughing killers, humor ass killers.
Yeah.
No, but I watch a lot of
killers got sense of humor.
I watch a lot of First 48, and they only in Mobile, Tulsa, and goddamn Cleveland. That's where they are.
Memphis, they do Memphis too.
They do Memphis, yeah, but
that's when you had the what was the lady that had the heels?
Oh yeah. Dang, I forgot her name.
She was the main one.
But I was with Bruce again, and I mean the first two was good. I got good tape and all that, and then the power went out on the whole, the whole shit down there on the water, like the whole where you live at and everything, the little apartment and everything. So they canceled like Saturday and Sunday because it was nothing they could do.
Wow,
nothing they can do.
You talking about the condo they got you in the
that whole industrial shit down there on the water,
right?
Like the power went out in the whole shit, in the flats.
Oh,
went in the whole. So they in the condo, if you want to call it a condo, that old
the building,
the old factory shit.
Let me tell you how crazy this is. So the first time I went down there to do my show at Cleveland, they put me in that condo, right? So it was the flats area or
You
whatever.
mean
I
the
knew
tiny gross apartment?
I knew one person. I knew one person in Cleveland. One person. I knew one person in Cleveland. She was like, "Where you staying?" I was like, "Right here at this Nautical building." She was like, "I stay in the same building." I said, wait a minute. You trying to tell me I came all the way up here? I know one person in this whole town, and you staying in the same building that I'm staying in? Like, that was crazy. I was like, that.
Yo, them joints cost too, man.
They do.
Yeah, now they were still building. They were still building like the front lobby when I got there. I had to wait. Somebody had to meet me with the key that was like wasn't affiliated with the club. He just had the key, and I was so I'm standing on the corner.
You know what's crazy, right? A couple of years ago, well, no, I think it might have been 2016 or 2017. After the show, you know, that little bar across the street, man, the Harbor Inn, that's one of my favorite places to squat and get a drink. Man, drinks cheap. You can get a double shot of Patron and a beer for like $8.
So you go to the Harbor Inn. I go to the one across from
the one on the corner.
Yeah, I go to the other one. The other one got the best food, right?
Yeah, but the one Bo talking about stays open till like 3.
The one in the building got the best food.
Yeah, the best food. That pizza.
But the one across the street got the drinks. Like
the drink.
Right. We on the same page because I got the drink. I got the drink from Harbor Inn, and I asked him, I was like, "Can I go sit over here?" And they was like, "You can sit right here, but you can't really take that drink nowhere." Because I went out there and smoked a cigar at the Harbor Inn. Then I went over there and got something to eat over at the.
I went to the Harbor Inn with the people, the wait staff from the restaurant because they closed up. Yeah, and went over there.
right.
I was like, "Oh, okay, this is what this is."
I come out the Harbor Inn like 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock, whatever it was, and the dude that was coaching the Cavs, the motherfucker that was coaching the Israeli squad, what was his name?
Forget his name. That was the one LeBron got fired.
Yeah.
He was there?
I see him with a black chick going to them apartments that I'm staying in. so I took a picture with him, and this was like a week before he got fired. You know what I mean? Like I took a picture with him. It was like when I took the picture, the first thing I was thinking, I was like, "You ain't gonna be around long."
That's probably why he got fired too.
And look, the sister was like, "Come on, man, hurry up!" Like she ain't want a nigga to take a picture with me or nothing. She hurried up and stuck her key in the little door and took him up. I said, "This nigga out here tricking."
Yeah.
That's hilarious, bro. That is hilarious. That's funny, bro. I mean, I remember being in Cleveland. That was when Endgame came out, right? So I had bought a ticket to go see Endgame at 3 o'clock. No, it was 2. No, it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon the next day. So I'm sitting at the bar at the end of the show. It's like 11:30. I get a text message on my phone. Was like, "Your movie's starting in an hour and a half." I'm like, I looked at the joint. My ticket was for 1 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, "Yo, I gotta." I was like, "Yo, I need to cash out." I had to drive over to the joint to go to the movie theater to go see the movie, and I'm like, "Yo, I'm tired." I was like, now I gotta stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning to watch the movie. Yeah, I was mad as hell, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss that spot, man. I don't know when I'm gonna get back, but Cleveland, the whole experience, man. Got to go to Slyman's and get that corned beef sandwich, dog.
And I think the other club that people say they struggle at, but I always have a good time is the Stardome.
Oh, I love Stardome.
Yeah.
Stardome is definitely niggerish.
Well, I usually do it. I do it Tuesday through Thursday. I haven't done the weekend there yet.
Stardome, man, look, and I tell people like, man, they've seen everybody.
You
know what I mean? Like Stardome, I put Stardome, and of course it's probably a better club, but Stardome and the joint down in Comedy House in Columbia. South Carolina.
Yeah.
Them two clubs, if they don't like you, they would not fuck with you at all. You know, they'll go off the stage or they'll make your life hell. Because they see everybody. You can't just go up there, no matter who you are, and coast it out. Or take your time getting established. You know what I mean? Like you got to go up there and start throwing heat miles.
Yeah.
And if you don't, they ain't gonna give you no love at all, man. And you got to keep it going. You know, Columbia, nigga, they make you do an hour, and what was it? I think I was doing an hour and 15 minutes or something like that. That
Wow.
was
Yeah,
right.
they won't light you. They be like, keep going.
The teacher had to do like 45, like we doing the whole
Yeah.
show. I'm like, oh, like you, man, look, to do an hour in front of that crowd, you got to bring some smoke.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
that's a big stage too. I mean, I'll be like, yo, and then you walk
Silence,
around, you got people all around the joint. Then if they ain't paying attention to you, they got to start their little conversation. You're like, hey man, you had to keep it down on front, bro, my man. You know what
It's like Win Dixie. It's a fucking grocery
It's the
store.
old grocery store. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean? Right.
And but that's so the way the stage is set up, like you so far from the people. So if you're not aware of where you at on the stage, yeah, you gotta. That's what Steve Brown had his issue. Wasn't that? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the old stage. If you can get turned around easy because the way you came out, like you would come out through this little doorway, and if you wasn't paying attention, you walk right to the speaker and try to think where the door is, and you be looking like a dumbass trying to get out the door.
I love that old room though, man.
The old room, yeah. When I first started doing comedy, they would do urban one week and then mainstream the next. Yep. And I used to go down there and do open mics. And when they realized I could do both crowds, they would bring me that back to back weeks.
That's how they did me. They found out I could do, because I started out doing mainstream nights there. And I remember telling them, I was like, yo, I said, I want to get on these black nights. You know what I mean? Yep. So I had to go down there and show them that I could do it.
That's where we met, Jay and Renard.
We met at 50 Comics Deep. The first person I featured for down there was Shane. That's how long ago that was.
Dang.
I featured for Shane. I remember that.
I featured for Shane in Columbia.
Huh?
I said I featured for Shane in Columbia too.
Yeah, I remember that was like my first time featuring. I remember I was married at the time, and I was like, I can't believe they let me do 25 minutes. Like I was tripping.
One thing about Shane, like Shane grind, man.
Yeah.
Like, Shane was like, yo, let's meet here and get some breakfast, and then we're gonna go to the mall. Man, we're going to the mall. Shane will walk around that mall and pass out tickets and hug babies and tell stories to people. Like Shane grind, man. Like that's where me and Shane bonded at. I was just like, yo, I respect what you do. Like, cause I'm not that type of person.
Yeah.
Oh, like I'm not give a fuck if you come to the show or you don't. But he made sure them shows was full.
I remember he was like, this way before social media. It's like late 90s, like 01. Mm-hmm. And he was real, he was the first one I seen with the database, and he was doing mail-ins and all that hand-to-hand shit out the crib and phone calls and like he was social media before there was even platforms, you know what I'm saying?
He was his own social media.
His own shit, yeah. He treated like year 2 in comedy, and he was finesse with that shit.
There was one club.
I had to follow this cat. Like after I established myself as a decent comic, 3 years ago or something like that, 3-4 years ago, I was headlining, this joint in the Bahamas, not the club,
right.
Naughty, one of Naughty's little spots.
Right.
And them joints ain't easy, man. And it was me, Shane, Toure, and somebody else. But they put Toure goes on first after Naughty and fucking gets a standing O. And I'm headlining the joint. And then Shane go up there. He ain't get no stand O, but he punched him in the mouth. Like he made my job hard as shit.
Right.
And I just remember going on. I was just like, look who I'm following. Like I was just like, Shane's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
But I went up there and did my shit too. But that shit wasn't easy at all. Like Shane.
I remember when I did my birthday bash and I did the lineup and I had you last and Bo came up like after because the person that was supposed to open up didn't come, so I called Tone. So Tone X came through. So it was Tone X, it was me, it was Marvin Hunter, and then it was Bodacious. And Bo was like, man, I'm not going up after all of y'all, man. I was like, man, come on, man. I was like, I need somebody to close the show. He's like, man, you gotta change the order. I was like, no.
Now I see how older niggas looked at me when I was coming up. You know what I mean? Like, come on, young fella. Like, slow down a little bit. I ain't trying to follow all that heat, man.
Right,
Mm.
right. And it was funny.
In the back, everybody killed. Like
Right.
everybody.
Right. But I was trying to
kill. Justin definitely killed. This is his birthday. And then nigga Marvin is up there just whole ass. I was like, man, I'm not going up there.
But the funny thing is,
I was like, look, Marvin. I said, Marvin, let me go up first, and then you go up after me. Marvin
was like, nope. Marv was like, yeah, like, nah. Because when I talked to Marv, I said, Marv, let's just switch it up real quick. Marv was like, man, hell nah. He's like, I want to go up right now. Like,
he had the perfect spot. He had the perfect spot.
Nah, you killed it though, man. I was like, dude, I was laughing. I was like, man, I can't change that order up, bro.
Yeah, so, but who the hell want to expend that energy, man? I was tired after that show.
Well, the crowd was basically up to a lather at that point. You know, when you came up there, you brought everybody back down because you was like, look, man, I'm not about to expel them whole bunch of energy up here, but you know, your whole style basically brought it all home. You know what I'm saying? So it was good. It was dope. It was dope. That was like one of them things. I remember the 50 Comics Deep. Just meeting everybody that was there that time when we did that. Bo, you would have had a good time down there, even though it was on some bullshit.
It was on some bullshit.
It was on some bullshit, but
it could have been on some real shit, but
the thing about it is, if I had known what I know now,
sure,
like the networking that was available to us, we took advantage of it, but we didn't take advantage of it the way we should have.
No, wait, true that.
But then again, we didn't realize the beast that was in that room either. Like we were new to each other, but we were also new to the game. But if we were connected with the right people, then a lot of us would have been way further if we just connected with the right people.
As far as each other is concerned,
each other,
and trading work,
each other, sharing information.
Yeah, we should have been trading work like the next week.
Oh, absolutely. Because here's the thing: it's like each one of us probably had 5 rooms we was working regularly.
Yeah, and
we could just flip that and went back and forth. Like, all right, book this guy because this guy is on the same level as this guy. You know what I mean?
Also, and just speaking for me, you know, I didn't have rooms before that. Like that showed me because I, you know, going out of town for competition.
Right.
Like, oh, okay, I see where I'm at.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that was still kind of early, and as far as that is concerned, but the just the way they ran it, you know, I was like at the end of the weekend, I was like, I should have known better. I was like, I should have followed my gut on this one. I should have known better.
Some bullshit. Like, yo, they got me for my money. You know what I mean? But you know, it was still for me. It was still
it was fun.
It was fun because, like I said, I didn't laugh. I haven't laughed that much in a weekend with some strangers in a long time. And I mean, cats had jokes.
With a price on laughing, man.
Yeah. And you know, when he pulled that move on the second day, when he pulled the move, I think it was because of that.
Right.
Because that first night, like unknown niggas was winning.
We was winning. It was crazy because like it was basically people that nobody had ever heard of.
And everybody.
And when I tell you they had garbage on the stage, but then they had cats. It wasn't no middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
Cats was either bombing or they was destroying. And it was so refreshing because I was like, where this dude from?
Yeah,
and I remember when Ron Hortman got up there, Ron was all clean. And Ron was like, man, I don't really know where I stand, but I'm here just to find out where I stand with my peers. And that dude got off stage and we was like, yo, you don't cuss? He's like, nah. I was like, dude, you murdered that joy. You know what I'm saying? It was just like,
I got a whole nother respect for that.
Right. And then I was just like, it was crazy, you know?
And then day 2, Drew Frazier enters the contest.
Yeah, like, Drew Frazier just shows up out of nowhere.
I'm like, okay, all right. and then he wins. Oh, okay.
The first time I worked with Cheryl Underwood many years ago, when I met Mike Washington, that nigga was killing. And I just noticed, like after the second and third show, I was like, he don't cuss. He was just out there killing. I mean, murdering.
Right.
I got a whole nother respect for that, man. When you can kill like that and not just be decent, you know what I mean? Like there's plenty of motherfuckers I know is clean that they go up there and be like, oh, that was decent, man. You know, I'm talking about murdering. like
Yeah.
Right.
Urban Nights. Mike
Right.
Washington was killing.
Right. And it's a skill, man. It's like
Definitely.
it's word placement. It's the crazy
Yeah,
thing
but
about it is
still
I
not
could
on
probably
that
go
level.
through a set without cursing, but I know I didn't.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, I do a clean set, and see that's probably why I deprive myself a lot of earnings, man. Because being the man of God that I am, I can do churches, man. But I can do a clean set, but the innuendo is gonna be there, man. Like
Hmm.
I got to lay that innuendo out there because it's funny to me. Like you know what I
right.
mean? Like innuendo is amazing,
Yeah.
but I can do a clean set and not cuss. But that nasty shit gonna still be in the air,
Right.
and you can't do that in front of church folks. Man.
Nah, at all.
Listen, man, it's funny. You can though, because when I look at like a Marcus D. Wiley, he finds a way, bro. He finds a way to put that stuff in there. Now he might call it something else, but everybody know what he's talking about.
Yo, the church comics I know a few that stopped doing mainstream rooms in the 90s and the early 2000s and started getting that church bread, and they was never to be seen again because they probably became millionaires.
Mm.
Look at Ak. When I first saw Ak, he was at the Laugh House in Philly.
Right.
But now it's churches.
They got budgets.
Yeah, they got I had a group on here that was all basically clean comics, and I can't remember the term. The honorarium is what they call it.
Yeah, that's that tax write-off.
That's the collection they give.
They do a special offering. I remember when I was I think it was Ricky Smiley before he got on radio, and they was telling me I was doing some researches about churches in the South, and they were saying how he was pulling 30 on Tuesday nights in the South. Because Tuesday night is Bible study. Yeah. 30 for like a year and a half straight every week at churches on a Tuesday. I was like, okay.
Kind of shit he doing at Stardome with that karaoke, well, probably not now, but.
And then like, and listen, and then you want to go, and then you ask why you don't want to go to a club no more.
Yeah, right, right.
And
but church ain't anymore.
Right down the street. He lived right down the street from the club, so this dude going there Monday nights and doing karaoke. I think the last time I did Stardome was like August of last year or the year before, something like that. His karaoke night was sold out until December, dog. Can you imagine? August to September, the shit was sold out. You couldn't get a ticket already.
Right.
You just come and get 20 bands on a Monday night and drive right back home 10 minutes up the road. Oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just nasty.
Yeah.
You start questioning your decisions. Like, what am I doing, man? What am I doing, man?
Yeah, man.
I don't know, bro. I mean, we'll all figure it out eventually, man. I'm praying for the better outcome versus the worst. I want some type of normalcy to come back, but I don't know. I want to be able to hit the stages regularly.
It's only gonna get worse, man.
Yeah.
I want to be able to hit the stages regularly.
It's only gonna get worse, dog. We're gonna start performing again. I can already see it's gonna be a new virus, and a nigga catch it when he bring his tickets in. As soon as he sit down, his eyeballs just pop out. They'll be like, get that nigga out of here. It's gonna be like that, man.
It's gonna be a comedy club strand like that you only get at the comedy club.
I'm like, this ain't the big one, man. Like it's probably one of the plagues, but this is just, come on, man. It's just preliminary. It's gonna get much nastier. It's gonna get much nastier.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
This some shit you can still protect. You can still protect yourself from this.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhat.
You can still protect yourself.
Yeah, somewhat. So,
but I tell dudes all the time, like you can do whatever, man. Like you can keep wearing your mask, carry your bottle of sanitizer, wash your hands, stay away from people. But one time, nigga, all it takes, one time, you fuck around and open up your mail and scratch your eyes, nigga. You got it. Like it's just one slip up, nigga, and that's just that's
a harsh
unpleasant.
reality. Yeah, that's a harsh reality right there.
Yeah. Yeah. No. We're gonna wrap this one up, man. I appreciate the time y'all was able to give us. Renard, we're gonna have to get you on the next one, man.
Man, we can't do like this. Like this is too sad. You got no sad music to take us.
This ain't no sad joint, man. Listen, we living in these times, man. Listen, we living in these times.
You gotta play the ending to Incredible Hulk, nigga.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. That was. I used to love that. I used to love that show, man. Hey, I used to love that show, bro.
Yeah.
Yes. I used to love that show. Somebody sent me a clip the other day of the intro music to HBO. Remember the joint back in the day where they're like,
oh shit, yeah.
Listen, that joint took me back. I felt like I was in my living room when I was about 13 years old. I was just waiting for something to come on.
You know it's about to go down when you hear that song.
Now,
oh man, you knew it. You
now
knew
HBO shit is just shh.
That's it. That's it. Like, you know, it's the I remember that would get me hype. And I remember the 1970s style special presentation that would come across the screen when Charlie Brown was coming on at night. When you would get nighttime cartoons was a big deal. Like you thought that was the shit. You was like, yo, cartoons on at night? Like
original Adult Swim.
Now they got Cartoon Network, but we ain't had no shit like that. We was like, dude,
nobody's addressed this, but Cartoon Network after like 12 is the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life, man. Like,
oh yeah,
super weird because you're supposed to be high. You're supposed to be high. That's what Adult Swim is.
Like that let me know how fucked up society is because I have tried to watch it. I'm just like I can't follow this shit.
I could do Robot Chicken and that was about it. But all that other shit, with the burger, the talking hamburger patty, and all that.
Oh yeah, you talking about the meat wad and and the shake.
I'd be like, nah, what y'all doing, man?
One joint was like motherfucker was like a large fry, and there was a devil.
Yeah, that's the same one.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Yeah.
That shit was weird. Yeah,
that joint. I still say that fry, the fries look like Deion Cole.
That's hilarious.
Yo, man, y'all hold it down, man. I'm gonna bring y'all back on another time, man. I gotta get you on my podcast, Bernard too. So that's on the scheduling coming up. So
cool in
hold it down, man. Stay safe.
Yes, sir. You too, man.
We'll come up out of this on the other side, man.
All right, I see y'all.
All right, man.
Peace.